What's going on, guys? Playwalks and we're back for another Dragon Ball Legends video. In this one, we'll be going over the best team composition for the upcoming Legends Battle Royale, which will be, by the time you're watching this video, it will be already live. So for this one, it is going to be a God Key setup, actually. So let's actually just take a look at the news to see the posting of the LBR. It should be somewhere here, right here. God Key starts on December 30th. Now, obviously, they like to do these LBRs with that corresponds to the latest unit that dropped, and of course, in this case, it's going to be Ultra Gogeta Blue. So it's very similar to the past LBRs. You know, you get 2 tickets daily and up to 10 tickets, and you have to see if you can get as many wins as you can. And I think you can get like 300 CC or something like that, which is pretty good, especially considering how often they do drop these, right? So let's see what the special rules is. So for this one, we have Dragon Ball chance down, increase own damage inflicted per defeated ally battle member. Okay, that's actually interesting. I didn't really read that beforehand, so that could be pretty interesting. It'd work even more with units that are like last man standing units, which I don't think God Key has that many units like that, so we'll take a look. But okay, so nothing else other than that. So let's take a look at the teams we have built here. I have here built, I think, the most optimal setup for this upcoming one. This might be the best God Key setup here. Just looking straight at the units, this might be the best setup here. Styzmask, Gogeta Blue. Just right off the bat, if you don't have one of these 2 units, it's going to be very tough for you to compete in this LBR. Obviously, it doesn't mean you can't compete, but Gogeta Blue and Styzmask, the pairing between them, the color synergy, it's just way too powerful. And there's almost no way to counter it unless you're using another setup like this. So this is going to most likely be your best setup. Obviously, you can remove one of these Zenkai buffs if you want to put in other Z abilities. For example, you can throw in a health Z ability with the God Goku. If you don't have any of those Z abilities, Zenkai abilities active, or Zenkai units, you can use this guy for some max HP and some base critical, which could come in handy. But this is probably going to be your best setup. You know, Trunks and Vegeta are very, very good. Obviously, they're a bit more blast oriented, actually very blast oriented compared to the other 2. Styzmask is balanced, but Gogeta Blue is heavily strike oriented, so maybe that could be a problem. But I've tried this team multiple times and it seems like it works pretty well. But if you don't have some of these units, right, these are pretty new units. Styzmask, I'm assuming a lot of people have Styzmask, but maybe not, because, you know, the banner, the banner was pretty good. That was one of the best banners we ever had, so I'm assuming a lot of people saw him from him, and he's a 1% sparking, and you can Z-power him up with Z-power to get him high stars, so I'm assuming people have him. But Styzmask, if you don't have Gogeta Blue, it's not as big of a problem, but Styzmask just providing the support, the damage, the endurance, all that stuff, it's going to be a definite core unit on your team, right? But for other options, let's just take a look at this list here, right? Rose is a very good option to switch out Gogeta Blue. Obviously, he's not to the same level, nowhere near the same level, but he has obviously the nullifying of of endurance when rising rushing, or at all times, so that's very good. And he's just a good unit overall after Zenkai, right? A lot of people like to clown him, saying he's not, but I feel like he's very, very good. So he's a very good option there. As CMZ, do people really want to run red units, especially when you're considering that Styzmask is going to be ran around pretty much on all setups? Probably not. He did get a platinum equipment, which really didn't help him that much, but, you know, it is what it is. Same thing with UI Goku. UI Goku was carrying God Key for the longest time, but he just doesn't make the cut, unfortunately. Like I said, if you're going to be running God Key, you're going to be going up against Styzmask, and UI Goku not having any way of going neutral is going to be a big problem. So you'll have a very hard time trying to counteract this Styzmask, right? But if people bring in, and also, actually, no, I was going to say people bring in Trunks and Vegeta, but Trunks and Vegeta can switch their elemental type advantage, so they can easily just shred through UI Goku. UI Goku is just not in a good spot anymore. It sucks to see, because he was literally headlining anniversary unit, but he's just not it. I've seen a lot of people run this setup right here, double ultras with Styzmask. So this can actually work out pretty well if you don't have Trunks and Vegeta, but you'll need Ultra Kaioken Goku, obviously. That could work out pretty good. A very good sleeper unit, it would be this EX Goku. A lot of people have been saying a lot of good things about this guy. I personally haven't used him at all, but I heard that he's pretty good. for an EX unit. And if you have them at like 6 stars, I would say it would be pretty good. I still don't understand why these guys don't want to put full 14 stars for these LBRs, but it is what it is. And then other options, VB, you can use him. Nothing like, he's okay. SSB Vegeta is okay as well. Beerus could be pretty useful. The thing is, there isn't really many green units you would want to bring in this. There aren't really that many good green units on Gotki, right? The best one would probably be either that EX Goku or this SSB Vegeta, right? And I don't think many people are going to be running them, especially since, like I said, the most popular build are going to be Ultra Gogeta Blue, Zamasu, and some other yellow unit like this Ultra Falcon Goku or Trunks and Vegeta. Or you can go, you know, blue, purple with Vegeta Blue, Zamasu, and Ultra Gogeta Blue. You're just going to be mainly fighting those two units, Ultra Gogeta Blue and Zamasu. So you want to kind of build around either those two or a way to counter them. So, you know, having some yellow units, having some green units wouldn't be really effective here because Gogeta Blue is going to lock you out. So it's really tough to see, like, because half this Falcon Goku I think could put in work, but it wouldn't be anything too crazy. You can go, like I said, a future route, because a lot of these Godki units are future as well. So like I said, Zamasu, Rose, and then this is basically a future setup here. You can remove these Zenkai buffs if you don't have them, and throw in like this. And who else can you throw in as a future buff? CMZ, I guess, if you don't have anyone else. Or like this Vegeta, right? He's future. This is pretty much a future setup. And then you can use future specific equipments if that's what you have. So that can work out pretty well as well. But like I said, it really comes down to wanting to use Ultra Gogeta Blue with Zamasu. Those two pairings are gonna be your best bet here, because other than that, this list isn't looking too great. Usually with these LBR game modes, you'd want to use the latest, the newest unit, because they're made around that unit, right? So they're gonna be the best unit to use. But if you don't have them, like I said, Rose is a decent option if you don't have Gogeta Blue. But Zamasu is such a core unit on this, and if you don't have him, you're starting off at a pretty big disadvantage, unfortunately. So nothing else to really mention about this lineup. Gotki as a team hasn't really gotten a lot of buffs recently. Actually, no, recently, but before recently, they didn't get that many buffs. So they're really locked behind having some of the newest units, right? So so yeah, other than that, there's nothing really else to talk about. Like, it's pretty simple. It's just run your best Gotki units. It's not like the previous LBRs where, you know, it's like DBL01 to DBL07. In that case, team compositions would be a bit more complicated, but for Gotki, it's fairly simple. You just run the best units you have. So that's going to be pretty much it. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. That's so important, so don't forget. Other than that, have a great day. See ya.